Welcome to Bloodshed. This is an auto shooter, kind of like Vampire Survivors, only it's first person, which is odd. Because a lot of, games like Vampire Survivors kind of depend on being top-down shooters, because you have so many things going on at once and it's hard to keep track of it all. So it's interesting to see this team sort of negotiate with the limits of that genre and trying to make it cross over with the first-person shooter genre. It's like a, old-school Serious Sam style shooter, which feels appropriate for what they're trying to do. So I'm enjoying it so far. I got this recommendation, by the way, by watching Illegally Sighted, which is another YouTube channel run by a guy who's legally blind and sort of evaluates games based on their accessibility, and it's a really cool thing to check out. So I don't know, you might want to. I'll put a link to his channel somewhere in the description, maybe. But for right now, let's get in here and have a look at how this game works. Come on, Skull, let me in. All right, so you start a new mission. Right now, I haven't unlocked a lot of stuff. I've only done 2 missions. Let's do the first one just because it's really quick and it'll kind of get to the point. So yeah, the only job here is we got to survive for 5 minutes. That's it. So I'm going to play Flynn Steele because he is the first voice that you hear in the game, and it'll give you a sense of sort of the character of this game.
Come get me, monsters. I've got some skills to upgrade.
There it is. So we're going to hear that voice a lot, so get used to it. Let me in, Skull.
Who's my favorite gun? You want to kill some bad guys? Let's kill some bad guys.
All right. So, my finger is not on the left mouse button. Whenever I aim at an enemy, the gun automatically fires. So it's got the same sort of like passive combat that you see in a game like Vampire Survivors. And here, periodically, when you collect enough experience orbs, you get to make decisions, like, I'm going to get a Desert Eagle. Which is actually the gun I already had.
Could be good at killing cultists
cool.
If I applied myself.
I tend to sort of level up the thing I already have over adding new things for a simple reason. And this is the biggest difference between this game and games like Vampire Survivors. You're not using all of your weapons at once. Because it's a first-person shooter, you basically have one weapon at a time that you're shooting at these enemies. And by the way, it's tough because, like, you get really used to, like, in a regular old shooter, you get your crosshair over the enemy, you choose when to fire. And you can sort of be consistent about it. I'm having trouble being consistent about it because the gun will often fire right before I get to an enemy or right after I've moved past an enemy. Because playing this game, it's almost like playing a rhythm game. It's like everything you do has to be on the rhythm at which your character fires his gun. So these blue torchy things have like items in them, power-ups and stuff. So it often helps to try to target those and get close to them so you can shoot them and get stuff out of them. Usually money, but sometimes you can get health power-ups. Oh, look! It's the little Heimerdinger guy. Get out of here. Die. Oh, we're getting cultists now. So as you can see, the types of enemies will escalate as the game goes on. But you see, like, because my weapons don't all fire at the same time, I'm not really motivated to grab a new weapon ever. Like, once I've leveled up the Desert Eagle, if I were to grab a submachine gun, like I think it's the Uzi? If I were to grab an Uzi now, the Uzi would drop. It would drop my effectiveness.
You're dead.
And I would have a harder time surviving. So unless, like, the new weapon is a marked, like, improvement in terms of like the way that it matches up against the enemies I'm fighting or the situation I'm in, unless it's a big step up, like going for level 1 of 8 for the Uzi versus level 7 of 8 for the Desert Eagle, it's just not a decision. I'm definitely going with the Desert Eagle. Whereas that decision is actually interesting in Vampire Survivors because everything you get is additive. You never swap something out for something else. You just add more and more power each time you level up. I'm doing so badly. I swear these guys also take multiple hits. It's not just me sucking, but it's a little bit of me sucking. It's interesting. So sometimes the spawn patterns will let you create bottlenecks where the enemies are all on one side of you. And you're just mowing them down, and that is the best. Okay, maxing out my Desert Eagle. I'm going to have to start getting other things in the future. And we're only halfway through. Like, the rate at which you shoot enemies in this is so high. At least for me, I always feel like more time is passing. Because, you know, I think the human brain measures time not in terms of actual, like, raw time that is passed.
This is my first resort.
I think that your brain does it in terms of events. So the more events you're experiencing that you're interested in, the more time it feels like is passing. Maybe. I don't know. So this does have the dynamic in Vampire Survivors where if the enemies are all bunched up in a place, you can be killing a bunch of them, but not getting their experience orbs. Okay, so now I have to choose something besides the pistol. So I'm going to go with max health. Anyway, you can eventually go to a place where you've previously killed a bunch of guys, and then just collect a zillion experience orbs. See, my health is still 109, so I'm kind of doing fine. Oh, I should mention, my character's got a special ability that's hard to use because he's shooting everything in front of him all the time, but if he right-clicks, he's supposed to knock enemies back. Yeah, there you go. I can sort of get a little reprieve from the crowd in front of me. Ah. If I right-click. So I'm deciding when that happens. There's also some passive abilities you can get that fire on their own. So it's not entirely sort of violating the model for Vampire Survivors. You can get, you know, multiple things going on at the same time. Things that are equivalent of, like, consumables in another shooter. You know, you can get those firing off periodically separately from your shooting. They haven't offered me any yet, but maybe that's just because I'm playing this early level. Oh no, oh no, oh no, get past them all, ah! So yeah, the Duke Nukem quips are constant. All right, there we go, mission complete. Yeah, pick up the money, pick up the money, pick up the money, pick up the money! Okay, so we were successful. I should mention, by the way, they make a big deal out of this at the beginning of the game when you first start it up. If you don't want it to auto-shoot, you can set it so that you can click to shoot. I'm not doing that because then it would just be like every other Serious Sam-like game, and I kind of wanted to play this game in the way that it's unique. Ooh, wait a minute. Don't I already have the Desert Eagle in my arsenal? Oh, maybe they mean that I think when I play as Flynn, he starts with the Desert Eagle, but other characters don't get it. I think now this can show up in other characters' games. Ooh, damage numbers is a benefit I now have. And the minigun? Oh, okay, that's cool. I guess I unlocked some stuff then. So that was a short mission. With the damage display, you can now see the amount of damage you inflict on enemies during missions. So I'm assuming that's a permanent upgrade, that's just true all the time now. But let's check. Let's do the next one. This is Forlorn Hollow. It's a 20-minute mission. So what we just did, times 4. And this time,
it's a good night to die.
Let's play Jared, the cowboy, gunslinger type guy. And see here, auto shooting. You can turn it off if you want to. Not going to turn it off.
Reckon it's time to see how many of y'all can dance with the Reaper.
Okay, so he starts with a slow-firing,
Hell better prepare for the storm I'm bringing.
sawed-off
It's
shotgun.
only getting worse.
And so again, I'm inclined to just lean into the weapon I start with, unless the game gives me a really strong reason to do something else.
Guess I'm gonna have to dig bigger graves now.
Ooh, increase overall damage. That stacks. Yes, you fire infrequently, but you can hit multiple enemies at once. So you kind of want to bunch your enemies up. Might. I'm a cowboy. I don't mind some hard work. I don't need experience orbs to automatically get sucked into my body. I can collect them. It's fine. Okay, where's the enemies? I'd like some enemies. I mean, technically, I'm making progress with or without the enemies. I think the enemies spawn primarily in the opening section. Okay, so I think I'm willing to switch to the shotgun because it fires more frequently. It's going to do less damage, and I think it's got less spread than the sawed-off shotgun, but this is early in the game, and switching weapons isn't crazy. I think I can level this thing up and make it more effective. But I think it's more effective at long range than the other one is. I could be wrong about that.
Oh, that ain't much of a lift.
Okay, yeah, so we're up this, like, big old staircase up to some kind of shrine. Okay. Fine, minigun, I'll try it out. Oh, so it has to spin up for a second. Interesting. Definitely gonna grab all the monies that we can. Oh, the minigun knocks me back. And it has these gaps when it overheats. Oh, interesting. So like while it's firing, it's really effective, but you want to like pick your moments. Because in between it's going to be a disaster. Whee! No fall damage, we have just learned. Wow, if I'm not actively moving forward, this thing is shoving me back. So the money is used to unlock new characters and possibly other stuff. Characters is what I've seen so far. Oh. Crossbow boys. Come on. Oh, that was bad. Well, was it that bad? I don't know. Let's grab some bloodthirsty... Oh, what the heck? Bloodthirsty ticks. So these are little, like, consumables. They pop off my body periodically and attack enemies and make them bleed. Well, not being in charge of what the minigun does, it's kind of disconcerting. It's weird. Like, it just kind of
Reaper himself couldn't keep up with me now.
It decides when it wants to fire. Okay, let's upgrade the ticks. It's hard to tell when the ticks are doing something because they're subtle. But you can see there's a little bar that's filling up on the right side of the screen. When that thing fills up, it launches ticks, I think. I think that's how it works. Okay, so ticks, yes, they just came up. They're just attacking enemies nearby. Significantly less effectively than my weapon does. So I'm not dead certain how valuable they are. Because, I mean, I end up needing to mow through so many enemies, and they seem to, like, just go after, like, one or two. Enemies, and they go after close enemies that I would be likely to be shooting at anyway. Okay, so I can't talk over this. I'm gonna grab the minigun again to see how it improves it. It looks like the minigun doesn't gain more damage. I think it says cooling gets better. So I don't know if that means it recovers faster from the overheat or if it overheats less often. Can't be sure. Okay, ticks just launched. But yeah, I was going to shoot those guys anyway, so I'm not sure if the ticks are actually helping a lot. Okay, got some help. That was nice. Oh, and I can see that the ticks were going after guys. Oh, by the way, I didn't comment on this, but I did notice that we now get damage numbers on the enemies, which is good. That'll help me compare weapons. Because the weapons, they don't give you a lot of, like, numbers to explain their damage and stats and stuff like that. They'll just say, this is for this, and then here's how much it improves by a percentage. So let's keep leveling up the minigun. Okay, these guys are coming after me still, and I didn't get that power up. Okay. It still feels like it's cool and pretty slow, but it's not like I timed it, so... Oh, you know what? It also naturally cools between uses. So if I do it in... Oh, if I do it in, like, controlled bursts, then I can get it... I can keep it going more consistently, because it'll cool in between those bursts, even if I didn't say finish the burst. Okay, neat. And, okay, and the damage that I'm doing, it does seem like it goes up a little bit. By the way, these...
They say death don't take a day off.
The green guy in the background, he explodes. You can't shoot him when he's close to you. More ticks. This guy explodes. Okay, so it looks like I'm doing, yeah, 54.3 damage. Wasn't it in the 40s last time? I feel like the damage of this thing, even though it's not advertising that its damage goes up, I think its damage might be going up. Oh, I think I just stepped in acid. Oh, hi, everybody. All right. Oh, big old guy. I mean, when you kill enemies, they'll sometimes just fly off if you did a lot of damage to them. That one, like, big, heavy guy is particularly good about that because he looks way too big to move.
Good for the soul. Pity I don't have one.
Okay, so I'm gonna increase my might. So everything I do should be doing more damage now. Yeah, by a small amount. Well, maybe that's what I did to increase my damage here. Maybe it wasn't leveling up the minigun that increased my damage. Maybe it was. Maybe I got a might upgrade. Alright, I'm not sure what the green orbs are as opposed to blue orbs. They might be different amounts of experience. Yeah, I do seem to be spouting ticks more often. Let's go someplace else. And in larger numbers. Okay, so as I level up the ticks, they are actually becoming more effective than they were before. And since I've got these, like, long delays between my abilities to fire, having another thing going on in the background is kind of helpful.
I ain't a fan of stats at all. All that matters is how fast I can.
Oh, by the way, this character also has a special ability. Sliding. Which can get him out of trouble fast. Okay, so you usually want to keep going forward in a game like this because if you start going back and forth, you end up collecting enemies on both sides of you. And then it's a lot of trouble to get around. Luckily, this guy's little dodgy ability helps with that. We're still at only 8 minutes. We're not even halfway done with this nonsense. Oh, Heimerdinger just showed up. All right. Yeah, let's do might. And... Oh, it's the actual devil. Okay, hold on. Oh, this thing's pretty effective against that guy. One thing that actually, you know, I've been worrying that if I switched weapons, the new weapon I got would be so ineffective that it wouldn't be worth it, but I could be wrong about that. Like, what if I switched to, like, the shotgun right now? Would I be at a massive disadvantage? Because I realized the minigun's damage, in particular, isn't going up an awful lot. And so maybe the weapons, even as they level up, are better balanced against each other than I feared. So I'm going after all these power-ups because I realize my health is at 31, and I'm worried about dying. Oh crap, this is a special guy. Okay, did I get him? I did. He's got a chest. Okay, it's a slot machine. We picked the 3 things we want to get out of it. We got a shotgun, we got a minigun. Ta-da. Okay. Ah! Okay, so let's try to get somewhere where there's less guys. And let's switch back to the shotgun. And see if I can prove myself wrong. Okay, it looks like the shotgun is doing 123 damage when you get, like, a lot of pellets on a guy, but it's variable. But it's up at around 74 a lot of the time, which is actually higher than the minigun was doing. So actually, you know what? My assumption about them not being balanced against each other when you've only leveled up one of them, I mean, the difference just might not be that huge. I mean, obviously, yes, there is going to be a balance difference if you're making any changes to the weapon, but it might not be so dramatic as to make the weapons unusable. Still, though, you know what I would have preferred? Oh gosh, let's get out of here. I would have preferred, and I don't know how you would do the user experience for this. Like, it might actually be that this is not a good idea, but I would love to try out a version of this where you're carrying, like, 2 weapons at the same time, and you're getting both of their effects. However, managing that could be a big headache. It would probably actually take away from the pacing of the game. So, and also, like, right now,
These little bastards better be afraid.
Each weapon you can get has got, like, a really solid rhythm to it that you get used to. If I had 2 rhythms going simultaneously, I would probably just suck. So, man, that's probably not a good idea, actually. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they were negotiating with a really interesting, difficult set of problems when they decided they were going to try to make vampire survivors in first person. Yeah, so this is not a disaster, actually. Oh, no. Okay, I've fallen down. That might be slightly a disaster. Yay, health! All right. Let's get some experience. And actually, let's switch back to the minigun. Because I do feel like, even though that shotgun was fairly effective, it still wasn't chewing through the enemies quite as quickly. It wasn't a disaster. I could actually, like, if I wanted to start investing in the shotgun and get it up to snuff, I could probably do okay. At least at this level of the game, the enemies don't escalate so quickly that I feel like I'd be screwed. But it's just hard to compare that to, like, you know, it's just investing entirely in one weapon and in abilities stacked with that weapon. That just feels like it's always going to be more effective than investing in 2 weapons. So basically, in my mind, when I'm trying to play this game optimally, I need to get, like, the weapon that I'm going to use throughout the level has to be introduced fairly quickly. And then I want to invest in it early. And then just focus on leveling up that thing and things that are compatible with that thing. Because then every upgrade, with the exception of some early upgrades before I chose my weapon, every upgrade matters, you know, and sort of stacks on top and makes you more powerful. Okay, I don't know what I just got there. Oh, a damage multiplier. how long does that last? Forever? I hope it's forever. Oh, good. Yes. So I'm trying to come to a place. So the world never completely fills up with enemies. Like, enemies spawn near you. Minigun? Yeah. Enemies spawn near you, and so if you do a lot of traveling, you can usually get to a place where there's a little bit of a reprieve. And you can kind of remember that experience from Vampire Survivors. Like, it doesn't get as dramatic as this. Like, usually you are pretty surrounded by enemies at all times in Vampire Survivors. But, like, there are these times when you can sort of break through the crowd and find more open space than you can usually find. Let's increase my armor for the first time. That probably has something to do with my health being low. Oh, actual Satan. Which is a name I've given to multiple enemies in this game. But there's a lot of them that look like actual Satan. This guy is scary because fireballs. Oh, but less scary because dead. So cool. We just need to clear out the area around his treasure box. Okay, 2 of those are useful to me right now. Okay. So I periodically check behind me to make sure I don't have anyone sneaking up. But yeah, it's pretty common in this game to end up in a situation where the enemies are all in front of you and they're bottlenecked somewhere, and you're just like mowing them down. And like, we got one guy behind me there. Everybody else is bottlenecking right here. Okay, now we're getting some crossbows behind me. They're getting wise. So many experience orbs. And these power-ups oh gosh. Okay, my ticks are going after him. Yeah, this guy's tougher than the other guys I've been fighting. The other ones that I've been calling actual Satan. This guy is a bigger deal than them. And luckily the ticks are on him. Oh, this is what the ticks are for. The ticks are for enemies with lots and lots of health. So it can start doing damage over time to them. Oh, hey, he's dead. Oh, what the heck was that? He's dead and no treasure chest. What? I fully expected a treasure chest out of that situation. I wonder if the treasure chests, like, have some kind of cooldown on them. Like, you could kill 2 enemies that are really big and nasty, but if they're too close together, only one will give a chest? I'm not sure what to assume about how that works. Take that, Heimerdinger. Oh gosh, so many guys. Okay. My health is at 53 now, which is actually better than it was earlier in the level. We're at 17 minutes. I'll be very disappointed if we lose.
I'm not just killing. I'm
ticks. More ticks. Nastier, disgustinger ticks. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right. Let's get out of here. I want to get to a place that's got more power-ups. Yes, so much gold. Actually, those look like Zelda rupees. Oh, what's on the ground here? Oh, it's just another rupee? Okay. Hey, everyone. I know you were spawning over here to try to get to me where I was before, but now I'm here with you. I am here for your convenience, monsters. Oh, gosh. Okay. It's amazing how little I'm getting hit, considering how poorly I feel like I'm playing. Okay, we got another actual Satan. However, my ticks are working on him. He shoots these really fast fireballs. We haven't seen much of yet because I've been lucky. But he's definitely a big problem. Okay, he's down. He's dropped his chest, I think. Maybe that big green guy just didn't have a chest. Better ticks. Okay, I dodged through the chest, and now I'm surrounded by enemies. Let's see if it was worth it. Not even a little bit. Okay, cool. All right. Oh, we've got leveled up guy. See, as long as you keep moving, you have a high chance of just accidentally dodging stuff, which is good because the amount of stuff that's going on, if you had to manually dodge all of it, I mean, the game would be impossible. So the fact that just generally moving around dodges most attacks, that's just good. It basically makes the game playable. And it also encourages you to just play dynamically, you know? It looks like, yeah, my ticks are out there causing a lot of problems, and I love it. We're at 19 minutes. Oh, there goes the devil. Oh, crap. Okay, if I die now, that will be freaking obnoxious. Okay, come on, come on. It's not going great. More ticks. Oh, crap. Yes. Oh, we did it. Yeah, that got ugly for a bit. Pick up as much money as you can. Whew. It says, I have not completed any objectives. I'm not sure what that means. I was supposed to survive for 20 minutes, right? Wasn't that the... Did I misread something? We're going to look back at the mission select and see if I misread what I'm supposed to be doing. So, if we go to here, Forlorn Hollow. So yeah, survive for 20 minutes. I think that's a bug. Because the last one, the first mission gave me credit as completing an objective for surviving for 5 minutes. And this one, the goal was survive for 20 minutes, and I did it. Okay. So, let's look at what this is. Survive for 30 minutes. That would push this episode over a line. I think this episode would get so long. I think you've got the point, right? I feel like, you know, if this is the kind of game that you like, this is a really good example of this kind of game. Like when I think of it as a replacement for Vampire Survivors, I hesitate a little bit because it's facing more challenges because you can only really, I think it's legitimate, you can only have one weapon going at a time because it's so rhythm based. That means that you can't just accumulate weapons, but it does have enough other things that can accumulate together between power-ups like the ticks, power-ups like the might and the health and stuff like that. I think it still kind of has a pretty, the same kind of progression, just with a few more limitations on it. But as a Serious Sam style run around and there's just constantly too many enemies and you occasionally get a little reprieve, but you're mostly just shooting and shooting and shooting all the time, this is definitely a good example of that feel of game. And so, we play a lot of old school shooters on this channel. So if you're one of the folks who likes that sort of thing, consider checking out Bloodshed. It's pretty fun. Where's my button that makes the episode end? There it is. So, yeah. I don't know what else I have to say about this game. I'm having fun, and I'm tired. And I'm loud.